Well, good afternoon and welcome to our weekly look at Tiffin University Football. Hi everybody, I'm Russell Snyder, voice of the Dragons. To my left, head football coach Cris Reisert. Coach, how are we doing today, sir?
Doing awesome. Great to be back.
Always nice to be on a Monday after a victory, right?
It's a lot less sorrowful.
Right.
A lot less sorrowful for sure.
Well, it's always, you get back on the winning track after, the previous couple of weeks, and it always feels good to go on the road. Maybe that's what you needed, to get away from things, go on the road and let your kids just focus on what was at hand and kind of clear their heads a little bit.
We love road games. I love road games. You get to relax. You get kind of away from the hustle and bustle, and as coaches having to worry about a lot of the minutia that happens at home.
Right.
The things that you got to help get set up and get prepared for. And it's nice to be able to get on the road and just focus and be with our team and do it with the 58 guys that travel and really be able to get after it. So, but it's also great to come home and be with the rest of our team and get to enjoy and celebrate with the whole crew. But there is always something kind of unique and nostalgic about going on the road and getting a win.
Oh, especially when you had the following you had a heck of a crowd there. I've been 50-50 there in the stands on Saturday between the Dragon fans and the Lake Erie fans.
We're so fortunate to have a great group of fans that love and support our team, and whether it's families or friends or alums. I mean, shoot, there were alums at the game on Saturday, and that were super excited to be there. So I think those things are what make Tiffin unique and special, and we're always grateful for the crowd that we get when we travel.
Well, last week we started talking about the game with the turnovers the Dragons were making or giving up the turnover as well. This week, a little bit of a reversal of fortune, as only took a couple of plays for your defense to come up and make a big play for you on Saturday.
It did. No, I mean, shoot, I thought our defense is very opportunistic. We won the turnover battle 3-1, and that's really been a point of emphasis for us on the season and really going into this week was trying to get back into the positive margin and turning the football over, and we only gave it up one time, and we were able to get it back 3. So we were +2, and anytime you're +2, largely that gives you a great percentage to win the football game. And so being able to do that, I think, was really, really key. And like you mentioned on the very first drive, Jermaine Wimpy made a really nice play on an underthrown quick ball and got a pick, and then we were able to go back and go, I think it was like 13 plays, 46 yards, something like that, to go score a touchdown. So it was a big way to start the game.
Is the turnover margin the number one statistic outside the final score on the scoreboard for you?
Yeah, for us it really is turnover margin and yards per play, and we were able to win both turnover margin and yards per play. And typically when you do that, you're at about a 95 to 96% win clip. So
you'll play those odds.
So we'll play those odds and ended up being pretty solid. So we're fortunate to be able to get that done.
Well, you got as you said, the opening play drive, 13 plays, 44 yards in 5.5 minutes, and Darius Pinnix goes in from 4 yards out. Your Dragons capitalize on the turnover and take the early lead.
Yeah, I think in that drive, we converted. I think it was 2 4th and shorts.
You did.
Which was great. We really made an emphasis this week to try and run the football better and to make a bigger point of emphasis on it. And it was good to see in that opening drive go 13 plays at 40 yards. So your yards per play are not crazy, but when we needed to run the football, we did.
You made a statement, really.
And we made a statement that it was going to be a physical football game. And so I was super proud of our line and our backs and everybody that kind of came out of the gate gun swinging.
You mentioned running the football. We were just talking about it. And I heard an analyst say earlier in the week about, there was a former coach talking about why running the football is so important. He said, you can, when you throw the ball can be incomplete. You can just go out and play, whatever. But every time you run the ball, you're forcing them to tackle somebody. You're forcing them to really make a play, and that's expending more energy. So that's part of the man-up part of football, I believe, a little
bit. There's no doubt. No,
in
order to run the football, you have to be a physical group, and I think when you run the football, you make it a more physical football game for the team that you're playing. And you force them to have to get off blocks. You force them to have to tackle. You force them to have to run sideline to sideline.
Right.
Put more pressure and stress on them. So,
absolutely.
We've really tried to do that, and I think, too, it allows you to control the football game a little bit easier.
Well, Dragons finished the first quarter up 7-0. Then Lake Erie scores in the second quarter to tie things up in 7-7. And then you speak of running the football, with authority and with strong running. You got that on Marcus Davis on Saturday as well. And he comes in the second quarter and gives you a 1-yard touchdown run after a real nice 12-play, 75-yard drive. You like those yards per play a little bit better in just under 5 minutes, and the Dragons take a 14-7 lead.
No, I was very proud of Marcus. This is his first game back all year. He had been out for a variety of different things and finally got healthy and got back on the field, and I thought he gave us a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
He ran the ball really well, had a really nice block on a touchdown run by Will Thomas, but it was good to have him back, and I thought he made some guys miss and just provided a little bit of a different element in our run game that we hadn't had And so it was good to kind of get him back into the mix a little bit.
Well, we talked all year about how strong the running game's been and the stable running backs you have, and it doesn't hurt to bring in a guy like that who was, the freshman of the year in the conference last year, led the conference in rushing.
Without a doubt, was a first-team all-conference kid, led the conference, and he's been out, and so we're battling the injury bug a little bit, and so it's good to get one back. It's good to get one back and get him healthy and get him rolling. You
threw a little bit of a wrinkle in the offense in the first half, and caught me by surprise when the number 18 came out for a little bit of a wildcat.
Yeah, Will Thomas is one of our backup quarterbacks, and it was a wrinkle that we really just kind of identified against Lake Erie that we thought we could use, and I don't know what it'll look like moving forward, but against that week, Will did a really good job going in there and finding a way to do some things.
Well, quality reps like that, and he was very productive as well. I mean, that's just got to help the confidence level keep growing and growing as well, and that's as important as anything when you're a quarterback.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think it was a good way for us to be able to run the football against these guys and gave us a way, I think, to push it a little bit differently, but for that week it was really a positive thing.
Okay, well, Dragons move into the second half now, and Lake Erie will kick a field goal to get on the board again, and then Reggie Colson, who had a real nice game for you as well on Saturday afternoon in the third quarter, a 6-yard pass from Nick Watson, 7 plays, 80 yards, going 2.5 minutes, and the Dragons back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Reggie, another guy that's been injured a bunch throughout the year, and is just fully starting to get back to, I think, being himself. So it was good to see him get out there and make some plays, and thought he made a couple really nice glance catches, and then that touchdown play was a tremendous play. Kind of a acrobatic, barely caught, toe tap kind of thing. So it was really cool, and excited for him to have some success. And I think his confidence will continue to grow, and especially now that he's healthy again, and we'll really start to see the real Reggie Colson.
Yeah, I noticed that he seemed like he had a little bit more of a pep in his step. Seemed like he was standing a little bit taller, like he looked a little bigger to me. So I guess that's all part of the getting healthy part of the process.
I think you're just starting to feel better. And when you feel better, you play better.
Well, Dragons again, a 4-play, 30-yard drive towards the end of the third quarter. And it's Marcus Davis from 3 yards out to pad the Dragon lead. And going into the end of the third quarter with the lead now, and then you're going to have a chance to get some extra guys some playing time. I got to say, Coach, I always, when I do the games, first time I say a player's name for either team, I highlight everything about them, so I can say their hometown, all that kind of stuff. And then when I looked at the roster at the end of the game, I think 2/3 of my roster had been highlighted. And that was more than I had at any game this year. So you were able to get a lot of kids, a lot of good quality playing time there on Saturday afternoon.
We're playing a bunch of guys. Yeah, we're playing a bunch of guys.
Some by necessity, some probably because they earned it.
Yeah, and I think a part of our developmental plan as a program is to play as many guys as we can. And I think when you play, you're more likely to stay, you're more likely to work harder, you're more likely to keep getting better. And the only way to get better at football is to play football. So we really were able to get a bunch of guys in the game, get a ton of good experience, and I think that experience will continue to pay off. And hopefully pay dividends as we get deeper into our season.
Absolutely, yeah. Depth is as big as anything in football, especially as we know how the football season. It's a war of attrition. If you see it at every single level,
1,000%.
You start at the high school and up through the NFL level. And this is, can you build that depth? And like you said, you only get better by playing football and doing football plays. And then Will Thomas gets in the end zone for you in the fourth quarter as well.
Yeah, no, it was a great block by Marcus Davis. Our line did a tremendous job up front. I thought they controlled the game for most of the time, but no, it was nice for Will had a nice game, and then to be able to get one a little bit later in it, and I think that put us up 35-10 if I'm not mistaken, and really I think kind of gave us a bunch of cushion that we felt good about. It was good to be able to punch that final one in and be able to kind of put the icing on it.
It's always good to go on the road and get a conference win, and now you have a conference opponent coming in this week with ASHLAN, a team that we haven't seen in a while because the Dragons had left the GLIAC to come to the GMAC. Now the ASHLAN squad has followed suit, and now they're a member of the conference, and I got to see a little bit of their game on Saturday night when I got home against Ohio Dominican. That was a really good quality football football games, which means you got another good quality football team coming in this Saturday.
No, they're a really good team. It'll be a great test for us, and I think they're solid on both sides of the ball. They're really good up front on defense and offense, and they're playing super explosively on offense. And defensively, I think they do a lot of unique things to pose some issues, right? Whether it be scheme or personnel. And so it's going to be a great challenge, and one that one that we'll work really, really diligently this week to be ready to rise up and meet the challenge. But we're looking forward to the test.
When I looked at some of their statistical numbers and things, one of the things that stood out to me is that they like to run the football, and they do a pretty good job of it, and they do a pretty good job of stopping the run as well. So this sounds like a game that's going to come to the big guys up front.
No doubt.
See if they can make room for the athletes on both sides to make their plays.
No doubt. No, the team that controls the line of scrimmage on Saturday is the team that's going to put themselves in the best position to be in a favorable spot come the fourth quarter.
Right.
So anytime you play a good football team and you play in a big game like this, it's your ability to control the game up front and on both sides that I think really will weigh heavily on your ability to win the football game in the fourth. But we're looking forward to that test. I think our guys will rise up to meet the challenge.
It's great having ASHLAN back in the league together, because when you look at all the teams, that's what I'm saying, all the teams in Ohio that are in our league, it's
awesome.
Really ASHLAN and how to make it a real easy rivalry. ASHLAN Tiffin a real easy rivalry. ASHLAN Findlay. All of us are developing, just in that little corridor of Ohio. But yeah, I think it fits our conference perfectly, and it's a program that has been on a national level, had some pretty good success. So just along with the schools I just mentioned, just keeps adding more legitimacy to our conference. It just keeps pushing it forward.
I think it's great for our league. I think it's great for the state. And I think it's neat to be able to play at ASHLAN, play at Findlay, play at Ohio Dominican, play at Lake Erie, play at Walsh.
Sounds tough, doesn't it?
and you get to play all these Ohio teams, and I think it's really cool because a lot of us recruit the same kids, and they recruit Ohio kids, and so those Ohio kids their families get to come watch and play, and I think it adds to the aura of the rivalries, right?
Yep.
So I love that. That's part of what's cool about Division II football in Ohio, is that I think when you play another Ohio team, it feels different, it feels special, and ASHLAN's such a good program, and like you said, they've been around for I think 100 years, right, of playing football, and so their tradition speaks for itself, and as does ours at Tiffin, and really looking forward to being able to kind of renew the rivalry and get it started again.
You mentioned how you've all recruited the same kids, and I'll see a kid who played on the other roster, played at Cincinnati Princeton, and he's a junior. And my first thought goes, well, I wonder if he played with so-and-so, So it is kind of fun. It's great for those kids after the game's over to be able to shake hands and give a guy a big hug again, and maybe we haven't seen in a couple years that they used to battle with every day, or maybe played against in high school. So it's just continues, and it's awesome. Yeah. So folks, like more information on Tiffin University Football, easiest place to get it's at GoTiffinDragons.com. Just click on the football tab, you get information on the schedule, rosters, archives, coaches information as well, are right there at your fingertips. So, Coach, this Saturday, another big one, a 1 o'clock kickoff. Let's go ahead and get together again next Monday, and we'll talk about a big Dragon win.
Let's roll. Go Dragons.
This has been the Coach Cris Reisert Show, your weekly look at Tiffin University Football.